Hello Gemini, how are we? Welcome to or welcome back to Mary and Kate Tarot. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you're well. For returning viewers, thank you so much. Thank you for continuing to support me. You're wonderful. So this month, what am I doing? I am going to be doing a general reading for, as I say, Gemini. The decks I'm using is I'm going to use the Find Your Own Way Oracle by the lovely Ari Wisner. And we are using the Visionary Woman Tarot by Kristine Gorman. Both fabulous human beings. Okay, so what have we got in store, Gemini? You know, I've not spoke to you since your birthday because I had to take last month off. So I hope you had a lovely birthday. Hope you enjoyed yourself. You caused chaos wherever you went. I would expect nothing less from you, Gemini. Yeah, so let's right, okay, so clearly this one is one to come out. Right, now what is it? Honor change with grace. Well, Gemini, there's a proposition for you. Geminis can be very graceful. Like, you're very light in your feet. Even the clunky ones, there's a grace. There's a gracefulness to these. Okay, so let's see. What we asking the cards? Let's see. What's coming towards you? What energies? What are we looking for? How are you finding Uranus in your sign, by the way? How is that working out for you? I would imagine that you are taking it a lot better than what Taurus did. it's Uranian energy is much more suited to Gemini than what it'll ever be to Taurus. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this. So some cards for Gemini for August 2025, please. Okay. Got the King of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Ten of Swords. Look at you showing up for yourself. We've got the Four of Wands, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and we've got the Page of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have got the Six of Swords, which is a card of Aquarius. Actually, Mercury in Aquarius. So, interesting times ahead, shall we see. Now, what is my first impressions of these cards? I think, first of all, it's good that you're showing up for yourself. I always like it when cards related to the sign that I'm reading for show up in the reading, regardless of whether it's major, minor, or court cards. You know, so you're showing up for yourself in this case in the Ten of Swords. Now, there is many reasons why I love this deck. Okay, first of all, every image has been hand painted in oils. They are oil paintings, and I just absolutely love them. I love the artwork. But what I love about this particular Ten of Swords is, I don't want to say this flippantly, right? Because we know that a Ten of Swords is a difficult card, but it's the first time in, I think forever, that I've seen a Ten of Swords where it almost looks happy. Dare I say it? Okay, and I'll tell you why. Because yes, there is smoke in the background, so probably that's some kind of carnage that you've caused, Gemini. I mean, let's be honest here. You do flirt with chaos and danger quite often, right? You do. We're not going to lie about that. But this wee character here, now I've got no idea what it is. It looks like a cross between a hedgehog, a gremlin, for our American viewers, a porcupine, I don't know. It's just a wee weird creature. It's a wee weird spiky creature. And I absolutely love it. I think it is absolutely adorable. And I feel like this person here, they've got the 10 swords in their back, but they really don't look that bothered by it. And I think that's one of the endearing qualities of Gemini. That there's chaos, the world is falling apart, you're round about you, but it's kind of like, it's all right, we're fine, we're good, we can keep going. And it's like it feels like that, it's like, oh well, it's like the whole world thinks that Uranus going into Gemini is terrible, and it's outbreak of this and it's that and it's all the things, but in actual fact it's you know it'll be okay. And I kind of think that's your motto for this month of August. I think it'll be okay. Because it genuinely feels like it will. I love the fact that you've got this power couple here, the King and Queen of Pentacles. Very rarely do Kings and Queens of the same suit show up together. And I always like to pay attention to that, because it's like, this is a real grounded couple, it's Taurus energy and it's Capricorn energy, which let's be honest, Taurus is your neighbour Gemini, right? And I adore these, right? But let's face it, it's not your natural energy to be in. But I would say, you know what, see for this period of time over August, maybe you need some grounding. Maybe you need to surround yourself with grounded people, or people or places that you feel grounded in. Okay. And I think, this kind of a whatever calamity you've found yourself in, or you're kind of finding your way out of, maybe that's more accurate. Go with what the oracle card says, and honour change with grace and be graceful about it. There's no need. You don't always have to be dramatic, right? Okay, so I know that August is the majority of time Leo season, and Leo likes to be dramatic. We love them for that, but you don't have to be as well, right? You don't have to be dramatic. You can just quietly walk away. And I think that in doing so, quietly walking away to find somewhere that is peaceful, to find somewhere that is grounding for you. And it could may well be, it's like, look, if I get here in this Six of Swords, I just suddenly felt the need to look at this. What even is that? Is that like sword cases? That cases with swords in it? It looks like it. So, and it's a balloon, it looks like a hot air balloon. So maybe it's time for you just to pack up and just go. Just sail away. Sail away in the sky and drift. Drift is a better word than sail, I suppose, isn't it? Because sail makes you think of water. So drift away. Maybe this is a month you need to do that, because there is a celebration coming up in the month of August for you, Gemini. And it feels very much, the Four of Wands is often considered a card that indicates marriage. So if you're maybe going to a celebration this month, in fact, I am going to a celebration this month, and it is a wedding, and one of the people getting married is a Gemini. There you go. So if you're as specific as that, then have fun. But it feels like, this energy that you're sitting in, that you have been sitting in, it's taking time to get used to, and for everybody saying, oh well, Gemini is so flexible and it's so wonderful, and it just, it's a mutable sign and it just likes to go with the flow, which is true. However, what is really standing out to me in this Page of Wands is this word truth. Okay, now I'm going to say this, Gemini, but I'm going to say it with love. Okay, please don't fall out with me. Okay, because I'm saying this with love. There are, on occasions, times where you find yourself in a wee bit of predicament because you may have embellished the truth, shall we say. Okay. Sometimes the truth has been embellished, and that's as much as I'm going to say. But this month feels like it is a time for you to be truthful with yourself, with others around you, and say what you mean. And the fact that this is a page of wands, it's about learning something new about yourself. You know, maybe for some of you, the last few weeks and Uranus has came crashing into Gemini, and it's totally knocked you off kilter. You know, it's like maybe it's been you're just like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? You know, it's like where has this came from? And I never ever think that, you know, transits, planetary transits, shifts, etc., should be considered negative. You know, there's challenging ones. My God, there's challenging ones. But I and I never thought I would see the day where I say this, right? But it's a personal antidote for somebody who is just had Uranus travelling through their sun sign. I am eternally grateful to the lessons, to the hard times, to the abject horror at times that I had to go through in order to become who I am. For 2018, it was relentless, constant change, constant, not even getting the rug pulled out for underneath me. It was like the whole ground shook, you know. It was like everything that I knew, everything that I found security in was just gone. And my God, it was hard. But it was so worth it to get to where I am right now. You know, to be able to spend my time creating content for you, having this wonderful community that we're slowly building, and it's just a glorious, glorious thing. And I wish the same for you, Gemini. You know, maybe no as cataclysmic is what it was for Taurus. You know, maybe we can, you know, have a wee bit less, and I think it will be a bit less because, as I say, you are a mutable sign, you know, so change isn't such a horrifying concept for you. But I think, you know, be honest with the people around you. Be honest with yourself, and actually see if you want to find fluffy bunnies, then do so. You know, go and find fluffy bunnies in the sky, in the clouds. Go and make shapes in the clouds, because, you know, other than that, Seven of Wands, things will be a bit challenging. But the Seven of Wands is a card of Leo. You know, the Seven of Wands is Mars and Leo. We can handle that. You know, we can handle that energy. It could just be that you're forging your own way, Gemini, and people are not keen on it. Or people could be a bit dismissive of it. They'll be like, oh, here's Gemini, oh, what they up to now? You know, what's the latest harebrained idea that Gemini has had for itself? And that's really unfair, okay? Because you do have a lot of amazing ideas, Gemini, you know, and I don't think it's fair to think that you don't. So if you find yourself this month, like maybe people saying to you, oh well, why are you doing that again, Gemini? You know, and why are you doing this? What's the latest crazy thing, you know? Just you do it, you know, and honour that change with grace. Because it will be worth it, Gemini. You know that, I know that. So have a wonderful month. Enjoy August. And enjoy settling in with Uranus. You know, it's like a couple of months fling, you know. Uranus will go back into Taurus on the 7th of November. So between now and the 7th of November, what changes can you plan? You know, what changes can you put into action that are going to have long-term benefits for you? Okay, my darlings. Take care. Bye.